Hi, this is Janelle with Ebon Pardus Farms, and today I'm going to show you how I can chicken. So first of all, even though I've washed my hands, I always use a disinfectant wipes, just because you just never know. I picked up some boneless, skinless chicken thighs at the Sam's Club. They were on sale, really good price, and so since we're not butchering this year, we're just gonna do this way. So I do not heat my jars or my meat because since I'm pressure canning, it all comes up to temperature anyway. I try to take my thighs or my chicken breast or whatever and cut it in halves to put it in, and when I get to the top I poke it down so that way it's completely full as much as it can. When you're cold packing, or you don't pre-cook your chicken, it actually makes its own broth, so you don't have to add any water to it. And I also choose not to add any salt to it as well, so that way I have plain, bare bones chicken for whatever I want to put it in. So if I don't have to take into consideration that the chicken already has salt or seasoning in it when I'm cooking, so that makes it easier on me. 1 pint is roughly 1 pound of meat, so I think I have 18 pounds of chicken here. Granted, that's frozen, and after I've thawed it all out, which is completely thawed out, put the juices that come off of it, weigh a little bit. So we'll find out how many I get. Okay, now that I have finished up putting all of the meat into the jars, I see that we now have 16 pints. And that's actually really perfect for me in my canner, because my canner is a double-decker canner, so I can fit exactly 16 pints in. So what I do to prep the jars, because I sometimes do and sometimes don't use a funnel, is I use disinfectant wipes to clean around the top of the jars. That gets any dust or any finger oils or any juice from the chickens off of the edge where the seal might get interrupted. And jar lids now, they don't need to be soaked, so as I clean it off, I stick them on, and I put the jar lid on, just finger tight. And like I said, I spin it until the jar moves of its own accord there, and then that's it. This way it's not so tight that it can't release the air and actually create a seal. And it's not too loose that a lot of the juice will come out and other, water or whatever will come in. So I'm going to do that for all the rest of these jars, and then I'm going to put them in my canner. Okay, so I've already got all of the jars tightened up, and I have 3 quarts of water in my pressure canner and the bottom piece, and I also put a splash of vinegar in there. So then I start loading the pressure canner, and I try to get the bubbles out from underneath so it doesn't rattle so it doesn't rattle in there. But that's part of what the bottom piece is for, is to reduce the air bubbles. And each layer holds 6 jars. 8 jars, my bad. Each layer holds 8 jars. And then you put the second layer on. It's good to have this so that way you don't have the jars resting on the other jars. And I do it all over again. Now, my son pointed out to me that I miscounted my jars, that I only had 15 and not 16, so I'm also putting in some beans. And how I prep the beans, that's another video. That's a different show. Okay, so I have the beans in here. I'm going to let it come to a boil until the steam comes out of here, steady like, and then I will put my weight on top, and then this will come up to 11 pounds of pressure. I usually keep it between 10 and 15. I figure that's close enough for me. And because I am processing pint jars of both the chicken and the kidney beans, I will be processing them at between 10 and 15 pounds of pressure for 75 minutes.